So I'm playing this on stage, and I start to go.
The Guess Who. Many would consider the Guess Who the quintessential Canadian band. They were from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and first started out as a Chad Allen band. At one point, Burton Cummings became the lead singer, and things really took off. In the late 60s, there were songs like These Eyes, Laughing, Undone, No Time. 3 of the 4 were top 10 hits. 2, Laughing and No Time, reached number 1. They started the 70s with one of their biggest songs of all time, American Woman, reached number 1, as well as its follow-up, No Sugar Tonight. The hits continued with Hand Me Down World, Share the Land, Hang On to Your Life, Albert Flasher, Rain Dance, Sour Sweet, Running Back to Saskatoon, Glamour Boy, Star Baby, Clap for the Wolfman, and Dancing Fool. You know, 2 things about American Woman. First of all, how'd you get that guitar sound, and what do you mean when it came as an accident on stage?
Okay, I had a 59 Les Paul, which had a Bigsby on it. So if you know what that is, the string's got to go under this thing, and the Bigsby is like a wang bar. To change the string on that, you need to be a major scientist. You got to lay it down, take off the old string, put the new string on, bend the new string, put it over the bridge, under the bar, over another bar, over onto a little nipple, so your string bead fits on the nipple. We're playing the gig in Kitchener-Waterloo in a curling rink, which had a bonspiel going. They actually put plywood on the ice. And I'd break a string. And we did 3 sets. So we're near the end of a set. Burton says, Randy broke a string, we've got to take a break. I had no tuner, no roadie, no spare guitar. I then get my guitar, I get a string, I put it on my lap. I'm kneeling on the stage. Burton, I have nothing to tune to. I'm tuning to Burton's electric piano. I'm hitting bang, 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 bang. I'm playing. So when I tune a guitar, it's like this. So I'm playing this on stage, and I start to go. And all the heads in the audience turn around and look at me, and I go, OMG, I got to keep playing this or I'm going to forget it. So I keep playing it. And I look in the audience, we're on a break. Burton's out the back buying comic books from a guy's trunk in his car. I can see outside because it's February and it's a full moon. And you know, Canada in the winter, it's lit up like light blue outside from the full moon. I get the drummer on stage, Gary Petey starts to play, Jim Cale comes on stage. And when we were all done our break and time to start the next set, we'd go and start the next song in the set, and the other guys would drift to the stage because you're talking to friends and family and stuff. We're playing this song, Burton doesn't realize it's us. And somebody says to him, why aren't you on stage with the band? And he goes running on stage, going, what is this? What is this? I'm jamming, listen to this riff, I'm sing anything. And he sang American Woman, Stay Away From Me 4 times. That was the song.
That's crazy.
He came the next day and he said, I'd like to add some stuff. Can I put in war machines? Because it was Vietnam, they were drafting everybody. Can I put ghetto scenes? We thought we grew up in a ghetto in Winnipeg. There's nothing like seeing a ghetto in Mississippi with guys living in tin shacks on stilts, picking cotton for $1 a bale. The bale was gigantic. It weighed like 50 pounds and they have to pick it for $1. So out came ghetto scenes. The Colored Lights Can Hypnotize of Broadway, and out came this song. Just a total jam, all in one chord.
Someone had asked, when you guys went to England in the early days, did you get a chance to meet them? Someone had thought you had met the Kinks.
Oh, we met everybody. When we went there in '67 with a Guess Who, before we had a big splash, Burton Cummings had just joined the band. Everyone was just starting. So Hendrix had just got there. Cream had just started, Clapton had quit the Yardbirds. The Who were going with Happy Jack and My Generation. The Stones were going still with Brian Jones. The Crawdaddy Club, the Bag of Nails, the Marquee Club. We went to all of those. And we were with Terry David Mulligan. I'm sure you know him. He was a DJ in Regina. He became much music. He was there just as a buddy. And all afternoon, we'd go to all these clubs because we knew the bands were there setting up. They're going to play that. So we'd go at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and they'd be there hauling in their amps. And the Marquee Club, which is the size of your bedroom, little club. But the Who would set up in there with their amps, and we would see them rehearse and sound check, and got to meet all these guys. It was an amazing time. It was absolutely amazing. It was like everybody's. Meanwhile, Monterey's going on in '67 in California. To be in London at this time was just unbelievable.
But you had mentioned before that it was sort of an anticlimactic thing as far as getting the Guess Who to getting the band to break through there. What was your feeling coming back?
Well, we never broke through. We got shafted by the British Mafia, and we had no gigs. We had no money. We had three rooms in a hotel, the Regent Palace, right on Piccadilly Circus there. So I got the band together. I said, okay, it's time for a communal effort here. How much money do you have? How much money did we bring? Because we wanted to buy Shadows records and stuff. So we pool all our money and say, look, we don't want to go home with our tail. We left because we were going to be the Beatles, right? Or like insane. We aren't the Beatles. Nothing happened. We got shafted. So let's put all our money together. Let's check out of our rooms. Let's get one room. So they have little beds in England, little single beds. Push the beds together. We'll tie them together. We'll sleep sideways on the beds, like head, and put our feet on a chair or on a move over a dresser. So the four of us could sleep on a bed. But Gary Peterson and I were normal guys, and Jim Cale and Burton were the night guys. So we would sleep in the bed at night, and if they were getting home at 5 or 6 in the morning, we'd be getting up and going out to see London. They'd be coming home to sleep. So we pooled our money. We stayed there maybe about a week. And in that week, I had an idea why don't we go and see the guys at Mills Music? Because we knew nobody there. But Mills Music had published Shakin' All Over, written by Johnny Kidd, and we had the hit with Shakin' All Over. Yeah. So going to Mills Music, we meet the main guy. His name is Tony Hiller. He welcomes us in. He says, you guys are really great. I'm doing a session in 4 days. Would you record 2 songs by these songwriters of mine? Because I'm the publisher, and I picked 2 songs. And I said, do we get paid? He said, no, but bring 2 of your songs, and will you have 2 songs free? Well, wow. So I say to Burton, do you have a song? He said, I don't have these songs. That's 1967. I said, let's do Neil's song, Flying on the Ground is Wrong. So we were the first band to ever record a Neil Young song, which I had from an acetate Neil gave me of Buffalo Springfield, which Neil isn't even singing. Stephen Stills is singing it on the Buffalo Springfield thing. And then I wrote a song instantly called There's No Getting Away From You. We recorded the song, it's called This Time Long Ago. And when we came back to Quality Records in Toronto, we recorded at Regent Sound, and John Lennon was just there. And here's his drawing that was on the wall. And we got this song called This Time Long Ago that sounds like the Fortunes. You got your trouble, I got mine. And we got this other song, that Neil Young song, Flying on the Ground. And suddenly we were a big success. We turned that into the failure into a success because we came home with nothing.
That's crazy.
Came home 40 grand in the hole,
yeah.
Which in 1967 was gigantic money. And out of the blue, we got back to Winnipeg. All our gigs had been canceled because we're going to England. We're touring the world. We come home after 2 weeks. We owe Gar Gillis, who did Garnet Amps, like 10 grand. We owe Air Canada 10 grand. And we owe the Stag Shop, because we all went and got new suits like the Beatles, 10 grand. My phone rings, and it's a guy that says, can you read music? And I say, of course. Well, I can't, but you say you can. And he says, my name's Larry Brown. I work at CBC. We're looking for a house band to just play the hits. The show's called Let's Go. You need to play the hit parade, and you need to sound like, I've been to your dances. When you play a record, you sound like the record. I said, great. He said, come in Monday. Well, I'm going to give you charts. I said, who's doing the charts? He said, Bob McMullen. I knew Bob McMullen. So I, hey, Bob, this is Randy Bachman. Do you have the charts done yet? How are you going? I'm not saying I can't read music. I'm saying, what charts have you done? We're going to do 6 songs. He said, yeah, I've done Last Train to Clarksville. I've done Happy Together. I go, oh, great. Anything else? He said, well, I haven't done these 2. I call Burton. I say, pool our money. How much money you got? $3 for it. Let's go buy these singles. We'll learn them. So when they put the sheet music in front of us on Monday, out comes Happy Together, out comes Last Train to Clarksville. And Larry came and he said, you can't read a note, can you? And I said, no. And he said, but you sound like the records and you got the gig. And we did that TV show for 2 years. Let's Go Music Hop. It got us out of the hole. It paid us $2,200 a week because it was on every Thursday. Remember, Anne Murray was on Monday, Montreal was Tuesday. Ottawa was Wednesday with Alex Trebek as the host. Winnipeg was Thursday, and Vancouver, and sometimes they would parlay with, hook up with Calgary, was on Friday. That was on every night of the week on CBC. And all the kids across Canada saw a Canadian band every day after school at 4:30. It was amazing. We then had to learn 10 or 12 songs a week, which put it in the Beatle mode. Remember when they decided to stay home, they'd go in every day to the studio and record. And let's do this in a different tempo. Let's do this in a different key. And that was our chops. Burton learned to double his vocals. I learned to double my guitars. And out of that comes These Eyes and American Woman, from going into the CBC and rehearsing every single day for 2 solid years, and then doing our own gigs at night on weekends.
I'd heard that, you guys, I was watching a lot of your interviews the last few days where you had said that basically we're in Winnipeg. We were meeting on the bus. We were, Burton was there, Gary Peterson was there, even Neil Young was on there. Did you know each other then, or did you get to know each other then?
Everybody knew everybody then, because I would get on the bus with a little harmony amp and a Silvertone guitar and a gunny sack. And Neil Young would go, "Is that an amp? Can I borrow that amp? I don't have an amp." "Oh yeah, you can borrow the amp." Gary Peterson would get on with a set of drums, which then was just a big round case, because you put your bass drum and then your tom-tom went inside. You had a thing called a trap case where your snare went in, and there was a lid that went on top with all your hardware and your sticks. So you had 2 drum cases. We'd go to the back of the bus. Halfway downtown, Fred Turner would get on the bus with his guitar. He's going to a gig. And we hoped that at the gig, we met a friend with a car who would drive us home, because the buses stopped running at 11 o'clock, and my dad didn't even have a car. So we met on the buses a lot, because I was in one end of town, Neil Young was in the other, Burton was in another, and the buses would go downtown and you'd have to transfer. So you'd get off the bus at Eaton's or the Bay, get on another bus and go to the other end of town, and they would be doing vice versa.
Okay, you're at the dentist's office and someone sees you there and turns around and they're curious about you. They ask you, "Hey, mister, what do you do for a living?" What do you say?
Anything I want.
No, you don't tell them. You don't tell them you're a musician.
No, at the border, like going into England, I used to have a big flat in England, Covent Garden. "What do you do, sir?" "I'm a songwriter." "What's that?" "I write songs." "What have you written?" "These Eyes, Laughing, She's Come Undone, No Time, No Sugar, American Woman, Let It Ride, 4-Wheel Drive, Looking Up for Number One, Taking Care of Business, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet." I have 12 hits. I'm called the 12-hit wonder. That's my business company. It's called 12-hit wonder. So I've had a dozen hit songs, 6 with each band. And when I name those off, ka-ching, they know who I am. They know I'm a real singer. I'm coming there to write songs. I'm not being paid because I'm not working anything. I'm sitting down with someone and creating a song.
Well, yeah, of course. What do you mean?
I've never used the word rock star. I hate that. I don't know who made that up. I'm a musician and I'm a songwriter. And that's what I've been doing since I was 5 years of age. And that's all I do.
Can you relate to that earlier version of yourself? Or are you introspective like that? Can you go back and see that kid on the bus?
Yeah.
What would you tell him?
Well, it was amazing. I just learned Apache, Man of Mystery, Rebel Rouser. Then you didn't even sing. You had an amp you plugged in. The drummer didn't have any mics. He set up the drums. You put up an amp. You plugged in a bass and a guitar. I played Dwayne Eddy and Shadows and Ventures for 3 hours. Then you do Sleepwalk. Everyone would waltz. And then you get a lead singer who has his own amp and he plugs into an amp. Nobody had PA systems. Yeah. So you have a mic and an amp? Yeah, you play guitar. Do you want to sing? Do you know Party Doll? Do you know Shaking All Over? Do you know Whole Lot of Shaking? Do you know Don't Be Cruel? Yeah, we know all those. Okay, same key as the record. We just show up and play. And maybe get $4 or $5, which was not enough to pay our bus fare or anything, or even take a taxi. We did it because we just were crazy. We just wanted to do it.
If you want to donate to the channel, there's a PayPal link at the very top of every video we have. Also, if you want to join our Patreon, there's a link at the very top. You'll get early access to all our videos. And a swag store. Yes, we have one where you can get rock history music and all the clothing that goes with it with those great logos. Subscribe to our channel, share our videos, comment on them, and like them as well. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music. Take care of yourself.